G'day. Today I want to talk about something that I actually don't know very much about, but I think is a disturbing trend amongst teenagers in our community that really should wake us up to some wider problems that are gradually increasing. Some weeks ago, two young teenage girls in the outer east of Melbourne committed suicide in some kind of suicide pact, and it emerged that they were part of a subculture that's recently emerged called emos, which apparently is short for emotional. The characteristics of this subculture are kids dressing particular ways, self-harming, expressing intense hatred of the world, other people, themselves. It's a real culture of gloom and self-loathing from what I've seen. I've looked up a few things on the internet and it's given me a bit of an idea. I've spoken to my 12-year-old daughter who seems to know quite a bit about it too. Now, since time immemorial, there's always been youth cultures that have freaked out older people, and for my generation, our youth culture was flower power and hippiedom and drugs and God knows what. And for whatever problems it contributed to the world, at least it was based on a positive message of love and peace and hope and whatever. However much it can be satirised and sent up, at least the underlying message was optimistic. It was positive. It was about a better future for people. The thing that I find disturbing about the emo culture is that I suspect it is a reflection of a wider change in our society that I call a winner-takes-all society, where so-called losers are derided, they're stigmatised, they're often excluded from social groups in schools, and people who aren't beautiful, aren't highly intelligent, aren't talented at sport or other activities are more and more put down and excluded and bullied, and the subject of basically a whole range of social derision, which creates obviously a response. Now, I don't know much about the particular incident in the outer east of Melbourne some weeks ago. I'm not qualified to talk about the causes, but I think there is a wider problem in our society here. The obsession with fame, the obsession with good looks and with talent and with celebrity is meaning that more and more young people are feeling more and more pressure and being, in a sense, bullied not only by their peers but by the context in which they are expected to grow up in. And the emergence of emos as a subculture, I think, is a logical outcome of this. So I want to learn more about it. I want to find out more about what drives kids to overtly adopt a culture of self-loathing, with things like harming themselves, cutting themselves, dressing in particular ways, and expressing some of the really awful views about other people, about themselves, that you can see when you just Google the word emo, because I think it's symptomatic of a wider problem in our society. We need to tackle this not only in our schools but in the society generally, and to try and claw back a bit of the social, a bit of the common, a bit of the communal, away from the winner-takes-all mentality and the massive pumping up of celebrity, of famous people, often unjustifiably famous people, to celebrate and promote the wider humanity of all of us, and particularly young people, and to try and ensure that everybody has hope, that everybody is protected from bullying, that everybody, no matter how average they are, how ordinary they are, has some prospects of being a serious contributor to our society, of being a valued person. We all need to be needed, we all need to be recognised as a good person. I think our society is heading in a direction which undermines that, which undermines the extent to which all of us can get that recognition, can feel that we're genuinely needed. And I think emos, to the extent that I know anything about it, is a symptom of a much wider problem. We need to think hard about how we can push the direction of our society back in the opposite way.